Right.
And she's like, no, I hear it's a nice place. I really want to go there someday. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. That there are, kids that live in this day and age that are on the streets. On our Facebook page, because we do a lot, with the girls, but we also do a lot with the homeless. There's a documentary film called Take Me Home. It's about an hour long. It was filmed here in Orlando. It would blow your mind. If you haven't got a chance to look at it, I would encourage you to look at it. With Rick. It would definitely change your view of what homelessness really is. And so I encourage you, listeners, to look at it. Go on the Facebook page, check it out. It's called Take Me Home, and look at that. But it's mind-boggling, the things that actually go on that nobody is looking at. It's just like their head is in the air and their nose is in the sky, and as long as they don't see it, it doesn't exist. And we're just, we're here to take it to the streets and to let everyone know, no, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's a huge problem here. It's a very big issue. The homelessness, the human trafficking, like I said, third largest in the country. There's like 100,000 kids that are homeless in the Central Florida area that are living on the streets, in cars, or out of hotels that are within school age. I have 2 kids, and like I said, I'm from a small town, so this whole trip has been, mind-blowing for me. Yeah. But I went to register my kids for school, and on the form, there's actually a place for you to check if you're homeless.
Yes.
If your kids are homeless. And I'm like, are you serious? I mean, that's not a wake-up call to all these people here. Like, the issue is so big that you have to put a mark. Check
on
here
your form.
if you're homeless. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. How nobody's doing anything about it. And and the thing is you have, I will say, there are lots and lots of churches here that do provide food and water and services like that.
But shelter is
nope. Shelter is not going to happen. There's 3 large ones here in the area, but they all charge, and I'm like, are you serious? They're homeless. How are they gonna pay you?
And you have to have an ID.
Right, and you have to have an ID.
There's a whole racket going on with that.
Honestly, I probably couldn't even qualify to stay there. If so yeah, it's really bad. But the food and stuff is good. It's wonderful that people are taking their hard-earned money and and putting towards that, because they do need food. And but my thing is what they really need is to get back on their feet. They need that extra hand to be able to say, hey, here, I'll help you get your ID. I'll help you get a job. You don't know how to make a resume? I'll teach you. You need an outfit to wear for an interview? Right. I'll give you that. You need a place to shower? Yeah, I'll provide a place to shower. So we have that, because like if you feed, like the old saying, if you feed a man, but if you teach him how to fish, then he'll eat forever or whatever. Yeah. It's like that. They're just servicing the wound, I guess, instead of really putting ointment on it to cure it. Uh-huh. And so we want eventually we have a building that we've been walking around and praying for, so down on OBT. And we were told a couple months ago that they were going to tear it down because the owner, he's just tired of dealing with it, and the city was trying to condemn it, and he just didn't want nothing to do with it. And so we tried to, we prayed about it, and the Lord has promised it to my mother. And so I have no doubt that we will have that building. And it was scheduled to be demolitioned, like torn down a month or so ago. And we drove past it the other day. It's still standing, because like I said, the Lord promised that to my mother, and I've grown up knowing that what God says, God does. Mm-hmm. So we will have that building, and that is going to be the future home of the Orlando Dream Center, where people that are on that street and from all cities around, can come there and get a hot meal, a shower, some clothes, help with resumes, life coaching classes, to be able to hear the word, and just to get loved on. and to be able to get loved on so that they can provide help for themselves and for their family. And, we'll have phones there for them to be able to call their family, and mailboxes, because a huge issue is, a lot of these guys that are on the streets and a lot of these women that are on the streets, it's an ID issue. But they don't have the proper paperwork to get their ID, but they can't get the proper paperwork without their ID. So they need help with that. It's just it's an endless cycle.
It's a vicious cycle.
And so
you have to have a permanent address to get a driver's license.
And so we hope to offer P.O. boxes for them to be able to use to have an address.
They won't allow you to use a P.O. box.
Oh. Well, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, you'll figure out something.
But, so we hope to have that up and running within a year. And then we're working for the house for the girls, for the women, to be able to take them off the streets. And right now we have a Rose ministry where we go once a month for our safety and for the girls' safety. We only allow ourselves to go once a month, because you can't go down there every day and be seen and, talking to these women all the time, and it's just going to cause a lot of issues, a lot of safety issues, for both of us. And so we go down once a month in different cars, and we take turns, and so it's never really the same set of people in different cars and stuff. And we go and we take long stem roses, and what we've learned is that these women, they're on the streets and they're so cold towards love, and because of their situation, the drugs and the prostitution, and it means nothing to them. It's just sex. It doesn't, it's no affection, whatever. But human nature, you crave love. And so these girls, they get nothing but bad attention all day long. Beat up, cussed out, criticized, put down. No one ever takes time to even just walk up to them and say, you know what, honey? You're beautiful. You have an amazing smile. You have beautiful eyes. You can really turn this around. And it, I'm sorry. But you can't, human nature, you can't resist love. And you're just drawn to it. And so we take these roses, and we take bottles of water, and we take sack lunches, and we take condoms, because the girls, they're expensive, and, we want to provide safety for them. And so, like I said, before, their safety is our utmost priority. I think next month we actually have a pharmacist that is going to provide needles for us, because heroin is a very rampant drug here, and needles are very expensive, and and so it's for their safety, and you just protect them until they're ready to come off the street. You protect them and give them what they need until the Lord draws them to come off the street. And so it's very touching. But yeah, we do, and we take them in. And these girls, some of them's been on the street. Our friend Sheila here, she's been on the street for 10 years, and and she can tell you, she'll tell you in a minute a lot about what really happens and what goes on in the streets. But these girls, they don't. The last time they were bought flowers, probably they don't even remember.
Next to never.
Yeah. And so it means so much that, someone just took time. And these aren't like business hours we're out there.
Right.
These are like AM hours. Like we start at 9 o'clock at night, and we end probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And we're out on the street, walking the streets and driving up and down, and and just getting out and talking to these girls and loving on them and telling them, they don't have to do this. There is another way, that they can come and go through our program and find a different way. We are a faith-based program, obviously, but we just love on them, and we are Jesus to them, and if it leads them to a Christian life, or if the Lord draws them in that direction, then great, but if it doesn't, at least they got the help that they needed, to go on and to live a productive life, for themselves or for their children or, whoever it is that is in their life at that time. And I was going to tell you about some of the different programs that we were going to offer at the house. It is a 12 to 18 month program, and the girls would come there. They would absolutely have to go through detox, through counseling, through drug rehab, because they're all on something. And so they would have to go through that, and we have a connection there where, especially if it's heroin, they can stay a little bit longer for the detoxing system. Mm-hmm. And then they would come there. We have counselors, Christian counselors lined up that would come and do different classes for them. We have a set of beauticians actually, that would come out once a month and pamper these girls, do their hair and their makeup, teach them how to do their hair and their makeup, because they've not had that. Some of these girls were on the streets and, didn't know their mothers, or, never had that connection with another female to help them or to teach them about
into society in that way,
about feminine hygiene, or how to do their makeup and how to dress and stuff like that. So we're very excited to be able to offer that to them, and just to be able to pamper on them for a little bit. And like I said, my husband's going to teach fitness and self-defense. And then we have another guy that is coming in. He's a life coach. He is going to teach them life skills, how to balance a checkbook, how to grocery shop, how to get deals, the best, deals possible as far as grocery shopping and clothes and stuff like that. And
coupon.
And to be able to teach them how to cook so that they can cook for themselves or for their kids, healthy, nutritious meals. And then we have someone from a local college, that's going to come in and teach GED classes there at the facility, because they're not allowed to leave. I will say that. They're not in prison. If it is, please sign me up. But they're not in prison, but they aren't allowed to leave. That's privileges that they'll have to earn at later dates throughout their stay. But it's really for their safety, and for ours. You can't have them in and out like that. And but they do get to stay there. Everything is provided for them free of charge. They don't have to pay anything, never have to pay anything back. And we get to love on them for a while. And so we will help them build resumes. The lady from the college, she will come and teach GED classes if they need that, so that they can get their education while they're there, get their high school diploma or their GED, whichever one, and be able to help build resumes, teach a computer class for these girls so that they can be, on a roll whenever they get out and get on their own. And so we're very, very excited about everything that God's doing and how He's going to use us to bless others and to really turn it around for these girls. We're just really, really happy that we get to be the ones that He uses to be able to bless so many others here. And, we don't want to just keep it here. Eventually down the road, when we get this one established, we want to take it to other places. We want to take one and go to California and start one there, and take one to Miami or take one to Texas. We want this to be, a chain effect for our nation, for the world, to be able to nip it in the bud about this problem. So if you want, I'd like to introduce our friend Sheila. She's actually a recovering prostitute. She's been on the streets for 10 years. She is going to tell you, and Trish is going to ask, you're going to ask her some of the questions that, maybe that you have, that everybody's wondering, what really goes on in the streets. So, I've seen a lot of them, but I think it would be better for her to tell it.
Okay.
And what these girls really go through.
Yeah, don't rush. I can edit out the dead time. Yeah, don't rush.
Don't put them over there. I won't be able to hear. I'll forget them. Okay.
Just introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sheila. Thank you for having me. I'm very blessed to be here.
Thanks for coming and talking to us. I know it's not an easy thing to discuss.
No, it's not. And unless you've actually experienced some of the things that I have, there's no way you can even begin to comprehend what it's like.
How did you